Hey, what's up guys? Today we're taking a look at two different lenses. I think both of these lenses are relatively the same exact lens with a few differences in ergonomics. So when it comes to me actually showing you what the footage looks like, I wouldn't really necessarily harp on that too much. But after I show you the footage, I'm going to go over the ergonomic differences between the two lenses and why I feel the Olympus 12-40 is a better choice. So like I said, I just showed you guys the differences between what the footage looks like between the 12-35 and the 12-40. One major difference between these two lenses are the Panasonic renders shadows a little bit lower, and we can clearly see that in the waveforms. Like I said earlier, both of these lenses were set to the exact same camera settings. Yet when we take a look back at the footage coming out of the 12-35, we can clearly see that the shadows are just a little bit deeper. Moving along into ergonomics, the focus ring on the 12-35 is really hard to focus because Panasonic decided to stick with the flyby bullshit thing with the 12-35. And so the 12-40 actually has hard stops. It's an actual mechanical focus. So as we can see here, as we focus to infinity, there is definitely a hard stop. And as we go into the close range, there is a hard stop there, which is pretty cool for flying on a gimbal or just general feedback in focusing the lens as a whole. We can also switch out between manual and autofocus just by simply pushing the focus ring either forward or back. The Olympus 12-40 also has another function button on the side of the lens. I normally set this button as my autofocus single pull. The build quality of these lenses are completely different. The Panasonic is mostly plastic, whereas the Olympus counterpart is mostly metal. Of course, there's the additional 5mm of focal range on the Olympus. 5mm may not seem like a lot, but if you check out both of these scenes that I set up in this test footage, you can definitely see the difference. The downside to the Olympus is I do believe that it runs about $200 to $300 more on the used market, but from time to time you could find some good deals on the Olympus on sites like eBay or KEH. I appreciate y'all stopping by, checking out this video. If you have any other questions concerning these lenses, I know I didn't go over any of the technical differences between the two lenses as far as barrel distortion, corner sharpness, and kind of all of those photography oriented aspects of these lenses. However, if you do have any other questions concerning these lenses, man, don't forget to hit me up in the comments below. As far as shooting video is concerned, the factors that I talked about on the Olympus 12-40 really do play a big role when making a decision between the 12-35 or the 12-40. 12-40 from Olympus. If content like this interests you, don't forget to check out some of the other videos on this channel. On the last video, we talked about image quality differences between the P4K and the GH4. Don't forget to check that out. But until then, I hope to see y'all in one of my next videos. Peace. Okay, boom, this is just for any of you guys that are interested in the behind the scenes setup of the scene that you guys just saw. Here, we have the Canon that's actually getting like the hands or whatever, the scene where you saw where it's like holding the camera. So that is that. I put this in the foreground here, this other lens, and you guys can see it in the shot here. I'll put it up in the screen. Obviously, this is the A cam here, pocket 4K off to the side. This is the angle that I was shooting at. Let's talk about this hair light here. This is a hair light that is set to 7K, no, 85K, my bad. So 85K here on this light, and this is where my head would be. Kind of like right here, this is where my head would be. So you can see the light kind of shining through my hair or whatever. I do have some tungsten bulbs that were kind of throwing off the scene just a little bit, just to add a little bit of color contrast to the scene. This here was mainly used as a fill. This was set to 4600 Kelvin, and I'll explain why I set this to 4600 Kelvin here in a little bit. Back here we have a tungsten light. I do believe this was set to 3300 Kelvin, just so we have some more color contrast. And if we go outside light, we have set to 5600 Kelvin, and I have it shining through kind of like a small screen or whatever you want to call it. This is actually a screen that I use to diffuse the sun, because the sun comes up through like this area here. And so my garage area actually just gets pelted with freaking sunlight. And so, oh, we got a spider right here. Oh, chilling, look at that. Okay, yeah, so this is, this light here is a Nanlite FS150. I love the color that it puts out. It's very accurate. Might put out a review on this light specifically here in a little bit. But yeah, this is my key light shining through the mesh. And if we come back inside, I will explain to you guys why I set this fill light to 46. After the 5600 Kelvin light shines through this mesh, it takes a lot of coolness away from the actual 5600 Kelvin. And after that's all said and done, that ends up putting us at 4600 Kelvin. So that's why I have this light set to 46, as it provides just kind of adds a little more ambience to this entire scene here. So if you have any questions about this particular setup, man, hit me up in the comments below. If not, thanks for checking it out, and I'll see y'all in one of my next videos, man. Peace.